Okay, we are connecting. Okay, we are live. We are live on Facebook. Let me just check that we are running the show, and then we'll be ready to start. Okay, come on. Oh no, what's happening? Uh, 1 second.
Glad you're the technical guy here, Mario.
Okay, yes, I can see that we are here. Yes, we are live on Facebook. Perfect. This screen big. Perfect. Okay, welcome everybody. It's been a while since I've been doing this live Friday talks. Since last year, I would say this is the first one of the year. This is the first one. So yes, you're the first year. You're the first guest of 2021. So I have a double special honor tonight. For those who knows what's the format, always bring a guest. I like to where we like to share our values, something positive, and something positive with people around here on Facebook, on social media, about life, business, fun, anything that can give some energy, something positive out there. So tonight, I have the pleasure to have Mr. Gary Hughes, uh, that I met 2 years ago or last. I met, yes, 2 years ago, in 2019. But then the relationships got more, I would say, built up, got stronger last year in 2020, for many reasons that we will find out. We will find out soon from this live. And without any further ado, I'd like to introduce Mr. Gary Hughes. If you want to take the floor, the microphone, the virtual microphone is over to you. Just share your story, who you are, and then we're ready to rock and roll.
Well, first of all, thank you very much, Mario, for inviting me into my living room to share this Zoom call and Facebook Live with you this evening. I'm very, very honored and grateful to have been asked. I am aware that you've been doing these sort of calls throughout 2020. And I think speaking with you a little bit earlier on, you've certainly done at least 10 to 12, maybe a few more of these. And I think the aim of it is to maybe just uplift the vibration for everyone out there. And even if we just have a chat face to face, if some of the points that we touch upon maybe resonate with a few people, and then help them with whatever they're maybe facing with today, or whatever questions they may be asking, then great. If it helps one person, then fab. Yeah. So thank you. I think you asked me to share a little bit about my story. I think Mario and I have had a bit of a connection because when we first met through a joint venture that we're doing, obviously I recognized from his accent and from his name that he wasn't British. He certainly wasn't Welsh like myself. And that he's from Italy. And then I tried my failing Italian with him because I've been very, very fortunate throughout my life to have spent a lot of time on the road away from the UK. And I actually spent 3 years in Italy, but not just Italy. I spent it in what you would call the Wild West of Italy, maybe. Is that how you describe Sicily? Yeah, not the Wild West.
Italy is the Wild West. The whole country is the Wild West. Let's put it this way.
All right. Well, of the Wild West, I spent 3 years in the wildest west part of the Wild West, and they were 3 fantastic years. I moved out to Sicily in 2010 and lived out there for 3 years. And I think when I left there in 2012, my level of Italian was good, if not very good. In fact, I was dreaming in the Italian language at that point. But I've been back home now in the UK for eight years at least. So I've forgotten a lot of it. And just like anything else in life, if you don't use it, you certainly lose it. And yeah, I guess furthering on from there, why did I go to Sicily? What the hell was I doing in Sicily? Well, for those who may be on the call, some of you know me, most of you probably don't. For majority of my adult life, I've been a professional golfer. I've been a PGA qualified golf professional, and I have worked as mainly as a coaching pro, or worked at different golf clubs in different parts of the world, mainly UK, South Africa, Germany, and Sicily. And although I have played some golf events, and I have actually won some golf events, I realized in my late 20s that competing at the highest level was just a bridge too far for me. But I was fairly happy with what I achieved for what I could do. But then I found that I was probably better at helping other people enjoy the benefits of playing this sport. So in the last 20 years of my 30 years within the golfing profession, I've dedicated the majority of my time to helping people start up the game and even experienced golfers to improve their enjoyment of their passion, of their main hobby, which is golf. So I'm now 52. I'm back home in the UK, and I'm back home in Wales. I've been back home in Wales since the end of March of last year. I won't go too deeply into that, but everyone's got their own 2020 story. Everyone's got their COVID-19 story, and I have mine. And I'm actually grateful, happy and grateful to be back home. And yeah, I have one son who's 15 years of age, mini me. His name is Lloyd, and he's loving his sports with his football and also his golf, and also he's enjoying being at school and doing very, very well at school as well. So I'm a single parent. I've been single now for best part of 8 years, and I think you can resonate with being single, Mara. Is that correct?
Yes.
Two single guys on the call here.
Yes, the single guys on the calls. Yeah, ready to explore.
That's the general background of myself and what I've done in my professional adult life. And I've noticed, I felt in the last 5 years that personally for me, that if I continue just staying in the world of professional golf, then I'll always be selling my time for money. So I've also looked into other areas of business and entrepreneurship, and I've developed other strings to my bow, which is, I guess, where we met in the industry of network marketing and home-based business. And I'm very grateful to have found that industry, because it's helping me grow and develop in ways which I had never imagined before. Yeah. So that's my background. Thank you.
That's awesome. Thanks. Thank you really much for sharing. I'm sure that someone who is listening, as you mentioned, if we can help one person, if we can help someone impacting in a positive way, maybe someone can relate to you. We're done our part. You know, that's why I like to do these lives. So in terms of my side, from me, yes, I'm not British, I'm not Welsh, but I'm studying for the citizenship. I'm gonna put it out there on the world. So I'm studying. I have my books that I'm practicing. After 7 years living in this country, maybe it can be a good idea, you know, to start as well to know more about where you live, and perhaps maybe take the passport. Who knows? We'll see in the future how it's gonna be. So yes, I'm doing this as well. Yeah, born and raised in Italy, in the region called Puglia. So further up of Sicily is more is the boot, is the end of the boot. That's where I grew up. I studied and did hospitality for majority of my life, about 10, 12 years of working in hotels and restaurants. And then 10 years ago, I got the chance with school to come to a city called Bournemouth in the southwest. I'm not sure if it's close to you or if it's in the same area, but
Called again,
Bournemouth,
sorry?
huh?
What's it called again? What's the place called?
Bournemouth,
Bournemouth.
Bournemouth, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's in southern England, which is yeah. When I was living on the south coast of England, near to Portsmouth, in the last 3 years or so, it's about half an hour from Portsmouth. Yeah.
And is it far away from you? From
From
what?
where I'm living currently in Wales, it's a good 3 hour drive for sure.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah, yeah. Even the UK, even if it's small, is a big country at the same time, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like I remember once I was on a train from Glasgow to London. Jesus, he never finished. He never ended the trip from Glasgow to London, London Euston. I was like, am I on a plane to America or what? He never ended.
Yeah. Yeah. People have this a misconception that the UK is a very small country, but and, you know, the roads, the infrastructure, the roads are fantastic. You know, maybe if you compare it to Sicily, it's on another level. You know, and what I found driving around in Sicily is that there's two types of drivers in Sicily. Those those are already dead, and those who want to die. You know, it's
Okay, I love
yeah.
that. Can you explain,
So
please?
the
Can you go
only
into
the only
details?
rules are there are no rules. You know,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
it's pretty much in my area, I would say as well. There are many, I would say, the country, as you said, as you mentioned before, the Wild West. I would say the country is the Wild West already, because you know we drive crazy and yelling, and the signs are
I've
wrong
never
or
experienced
something.
anything quite
So
like it. Yeah.
yeah, so I miss that sometimes, but at the same time, as much I feel safer here in a way. At least I know that everything is recorded. So
Yeah, different structure here for sure. Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Not that that's
So
good, not that it's better. It's just different. Yeah.
it's good, bad. I would say like I was driving once. I was driving back in November, I think, before my birthday. So in November, yeah, and I was pressing the gas, like but anyway, the thing to the gear, whatever it's called, the gas to go up with the speed. And the guy next to me was like, "Hey, there is a camera, there is a camera, there is a camera." I'm like, I mean, in Italy, I can just drive, you know. I mean, it's 50, but I go 70, nothing happens. Here, I need to be really, okay, 27, 22, you know, I
Yeah.
need to be really,
Yeah. Exactly. Well,
I need to be really careful, yeah.
it's not
So,
yeah.
yeah, I was mentioning 10 years ago, I got the chance to come to the UK for the first time to the city called Bournemouth in the southwest area. And it was there for an internship with school. And I was doing assistant receptionist in an hotel. So I was there for 2 weeks, and then I came to London as well for a few hours, just twice during those 2 weeks. And I was like, okay, seems different from Italy, obviously. People are I see people more open-minded. They just live their life, whatever. And the economy looks more, you know, more attractive. And I was like, you know what? I think after school, I will give it a chance. I will go for 2 years, 3 years. That was my plan. So in 2014, I moved here in January, and then I said, okay, 2 years, but then extended. I moved from one place to another to work, still in hotels, and then 7 years passed on. So, but when I was working in hotels, someone, I think someone is watching from my colleagues. I think Sylvia left a comment. Yeah, Sylvia was working with me, and I always looked out for something extra, like yourself, as you mentioned, something extra to earn more, obviously, and to get more time free. Because in hospitality, I like it to talk to people, but you know, Easter, summer, Christmas, night shift, day shift. You don't really have the structure of 9 to 5 or whatever. You can have it, but it didn't really give me much um, much energy to do it every day. I was like, okay, I need to do this every day, but yeah, it's not really my thing. So we're watching for how to make additional money outside work, online, and that's when as well I met the industry of home-based business, and as well home-based business called network marketing as well. And since then, I'm really grateful. Is an awesome experience in terms of growing as a person, financially, obviously, but as well the progress that I made from when I started till now is something that in my work I wasn't growing. I was just doing the same. Check in, check out. I was talking to people. Yeah, maybe I would start dealing more with people with some problems. But here, man, it's another planet, So that's what I like about the industry as well. And that's briefly my story as well. Now, the format as usually goes with the Friday talks with the live. I like to ask two or three questions, depending on the time. And then if you have anything that you'd like to add as well, feel free to add or to ask. I usually like to start. I like to start with books or with advices. So I would like to change. I would like to change now. So let's say I'll go straight to. I'll go straight to something with life. So, what's your biggest decision so far that you have taken in life that's had an impact on you that you'd like to share here that can make people think, and as well can give some value. I mean, something to think about.
Sure. Okay. Well, first of all, great question, by the way, and I'm grateful that you've asked that question because I've probably got a lot more experience of life than I have of books. I've got 52 and a half years of life, and if I was perfectly honest, whilst we've all been forced to read books, maybe through our formal education, personally, I was somebody. After leaving school, after leaving college, I went more into the sporting world and played golf and competed. And yeah, of course, I read books as far as coaching is concerned, but nothing much outside of my industry. So I'm glad we haven't done much on books. Although I must say, in the last 4 years, I've never read as many books as I have done in the last 4 years. But we can touch on that subject if you so wish. But with life, coming back to your question about what's the biggest decision I've made with life? Well, I think at the moment, a lot of people are having a lot of self-reflection, especially what happened to them in 2020 and also now the start of 2021. And myself, I'm no different. So the biggest decision I've learned that I've made, and it's something I never thought of actually, the biggest decision I've made is to actually be on the planet in the first place. So whilst we may have graphs of success going up and down, apparently each and every one of us who's on this planet at this moment is a huge success because we have won the fight out of 400 million pieces of sperm to actually be here. 400 million. Now, a lot of people don't understand that. So we are already huge winners in our own right for being here. So that's the greatest decision I've ever made, is wanting to be on the planet in the first place. Having been here, what's the biggest decision I've ever made? Well, I think the biggest decision I've ever made, and there's lots of them, has been to broaden my horizons and move abroad and take in different life experiences, different cultures, different languages. I've been very fortunate through my profession, through golf, that I've actually learned to speak two other languages as well, namely Italian we talked about, and also German. German would probably be my better of the foreign languages. It's actually quite embarrassing because coming from Wales, as you may or may not know, Wales is a completely different language to English. It's not a different dialect, it's a different language. And of the 4 languages that I can sort of speak, my own language of Welsh, I'm the worst at that. You know, I would say English is probably my best language, and then German is pretty close behind, then Italian, and then Welsh. So, but that's only come from jumping in out of your comfort zone. So whilst again, there have been a lot of mistakes I've made, I think everyone, if they were honest with themselves, would say that they've made a lot of mistakes. That's what life is all about. But I think the biggest thing I've learned is each and every time to be able to grow, you have to jump out of your comfort zone. So that's a bit of a long-winded answer, but that would be my take on that.
No, but it makes sense. It makes sense in a way, because it's really what you need to. I'm laughing because you get the joke, right? Yeah. Yeah. So it makes really sense, because you actually need to grow and get out of actually who you've been since that time, and then grow into know, okay, I want to go abroad, yeah, but I need to sacrifice, or maybe learn something in exchange. So that's what happened to me as well, and that's why I can relate in a way. So for me, so far until now, as I'm 27, hopefully I'm not. I always say on these lives, hopefully I'm not going to make so many big decisions, because it means that I'm doing something right. So hopefully it would be just few of them. It would be wise. That's what I always say. So far for me is actually coming back to London. That was so far my biggest decision. As in 2018, so about 3 years ago, I went back home for summer, and while I was there, I got to know a person when I was working from Argentina, and in Argentina, the country is 60-70% they speak Italian, as there was immigration from there, and they speak Spanish as well. I mean, so the Spanish is kind of mixed with Italian, and I was like, you know what? I mean, I'd love to go there, to stay in Argentina, and then to visit the whole South America. And I was like, when you start something but you don't feel completed, you haven't reached that level yet. And I'm like, you know what? I need to actually come back to London, because what I was planning to do when I read first in 2014,
unfinished business, eh?
I didn't finish my growth. I didn't finish my goals. I got something, yes, but I didn't really feel complete. So something was missing in my life in London. I was like, you know what? I'll go to Argentina, yes, for fun, for visiting. Maybe I'll stay longer, but I need to go back to London to actually do what I want to do. And no matter Brexit, Boris Johnson, or whoever is the prime minister, I don't care. I made the decision to come back, because when you move to a different place, and you actually set something for long term, from my side, from my vision, from my view, I need to be there and do it. Otherwise, I just see some years that I wasted from my life. That's how I see it. Someone else maybe will see in a different way, but hey, that's just me. So far, that's the biggest decision: if coming back here, or moving to Argentina. And I'm glad that I came here, as we are now talking. We're now, I got to meet you as well. I was thinking to something else in terms of
Go ahead.
I don't know, morning routines. In terms of morning routines, or how do you structure your day?
Yeah.
Is there something that you would like to share, how you structure your day in terms of balancing out now, as you have parents' duty, let's say, and as well business duty, your life duty, your life goals, and everything. How do you balance it? How do you find, or how do you live one day? Let's say, if you want to share, or if you want just to give some ideas.
Well, that's very, very kind of you to ask. And It's quite simple, really. It's something which I have learned in recent years, and it's something which I actively searched because I realized that for too long, that whatever role I was fulfilling, work-wise and also family-wise, I always felt as though there was never enough time, you know, and always the question came of me from different people and even of myself. Why don't you manage your time better? Why don't you learn to manage your time better? And then I got to understand that actually you can't manage time. It's not possible to manage time. All you can do is manage what you need to do during a 24-hour period, because we all have 24 hours in a day. You know, the most successful people on the planet don't have 24 and a half hours or 25. They still have 24. So, and what I've learned, and I was very fortunate to be, I think my personal development journey started when I was introduced to the film The Secret. I'm sure you're aware of The Secret, the book and the film by Rhonda Byrne. That kind of kick-started my development back in 2015, 2016. And from there, one of the philosophers, if you like, on that film was a guy by the name of Bob Proctor. You know Bob? Yeah, I love Bob Proctor. And so I've done a lot of studying of Bob Proctor's programs. I've spent a fortune actually on Bob Proctor's programs down the last 4 or 5 years. And one of the things I picked up from him is what I've just said, that you cannot manage time, but you can manage the things that you need to do. So what I've learned from him, and this is not something I've dreamt up, it's come from somebody who's a lot more successful than myself, Bob Proctor, is that every evening before I go to bed, is I will write down a list of 6 things that I wish to do the following day. That whatever will come into my head, what I need to do, what I'd like to do the following day, I'll just write them as they come into my head, and then I would label them 1 to 6. Number 1 being the most important, and number 6 being the least important. And then once I've got up in the morning and I've done my morning stuff, which I may touch upon in a minute, I will then try and go through the list of duties I've set for myself, and I can try and see if I can get all 6 completed. And if I haven't completed 6, if I've only completed 4, then the other 2 I will carry forwards into the next evening and write those in my next list of 6. So that's how I've managed to structure my day rather than trying to manage time. Yeah. And as far as what I do when I get up in the morning, it's something which is always developing. It's work in progress. But I was never always like this. But again, it's something which I've learned as I've started on this new spiritual journey, if you like. Is I will always have a pint of water with some lemon in it. So I fill my body up again, so it's ready to go. And then I will drink a healthy coffee. I won't drink an acidic coffee. I sometimes do have a Sicilian coffee. I've got a Sicilian coffee pot in the kitchen, so I still will make an acidic coffee from time to time. And then I will spend 30 minutes reading a book. Again, it's something I never used to do. And by the way, this all starts at about 5:30 in the morning. Yeah.
That makes a big difference, you know. What you just said makes a big difference already.
5:30 in the morning, and I'll read the book, and then it's something which sounds a little bit woo-woo to a lot of people, but I will spend 10 to 15 minutes meditating. And then I will do a little bit of exercise at home, or if the weather's conducive, some people may have seen it recently on Facebook with me, I will get on my bike and I will cycle down to the seafront, and then I will go cold water swimming in the sea. So that isn't every day, but it's something which I do a couple of times a week for sure. Yeah. So that's how I kind of structure my day.
That's really deep in the details, and I like what that you mentioned as well, the day and the morning. But so I'm just wondering now, because I know Bob Proctor, yeah, but I didn't really focus much on him. So why there are 6 and not 5, or just 2 or 3? Is there a specific reason?
Not that I'm aware of. No, I don't know. He's a lot of Bob Proctor's work stems from his mentor. His name skips me at the moment. I'll leave it and I'll come back to it.
Yeah.
But it was a guy that actually wrote the #1 personal development program back in the 50s. It was called Lead the Field. That was the name of the program, and Bob Proctor has taken that on. And I think the 6 items to do the following day came from that Lead the Field program.
Okay. Because I usually put
Earl Nightingale.
Earl Nightingale. Okay, yeah, Earl Nightingale. Yeah, the secret. The success. Yeah, I read the book. I don't remember now. I don't remember.
Earl Nightingale. He was
the Stranger Secret. The Stranger
he's done a lot of programs and a lot of stuff, but he's revered as the guy that actually started the personal development industry.
Yes.
And the main program that he designed was called Lead the Field. That's where those 6 points come from that program.
Okay. I think I read my book on the Kindle, but I read it during summer. I remember some parts, but don't remember these 6 points. But okay, but that's great to share. I'm sure that someone will take some ideas out of it. And yes, I saw you in the last weeks going into the cold water. And I'm like, bloody hell! How can
There's a reason for it. There's a reason for it, and it's not because I necessarily want to do it, or not necessarily because I want people to see that he's this crazy lunatic. But I have certain goals that I want to achieve this year, and for me to achieve those goals, I again have to grow. I have to again come out of my comfort zone. I have to smash through my mental obstacles. And I just thought, well, if I can overcome my fear of freezing cold, because that water is freezing cold, and I know I'm going into freezing cold water. You know, it's been like 7.5 degrees the last few weeks, and it's been gradually getting colder. If I can get up in the morning with the intention of cycling to the seaside, with the intention of going in the water and overcoming those obstacles, then I can program my mind to overcome pretty much any obstacle. That's my way of thinking.
And that would be, there would be like a GIF or GIF, however you call it. Drop the mic, so that after this, I'm done. I need just to shut up, So I mean, it's something really tough, I would say, but at the same time, it makes you grow. Yes, so it's good. Yeah, I would say it's good. It's good. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. So going really briefly about what I do in terms of the day or in the morning. From my side, I was struggling a lot, I would say, until I got, I would say last year, when this lockdown, everything started last year. So you know what, I need to find some habit, some way to figure it out what I need to do. Then I put 2 or 3 points, 2 or 3 things to do. At least I know that I'm not putting too much stress on me. At least 2 or 3 points to do, 2 or 3 things to do. Then I have wake up calls on my phone to do. Okay, I need to do this 20 minutes. I need to do this for 10 minutes. I need to do that. I have wake up calls. My phone, is ringing for that. It's always on silent, but the wake up calls are there because I need to remind the time. Because I want my mind to be like, okay, it's ringing. It's 11 now. I need to do this. It's 12. I need to do this.
Great idea.
So
I'm making notes of that.
I need to train my mind to be like, okay, if the phone is ringing, it's written there. How long is going to take me to be without the phone? Because the phone, is here now, but I need to train my mind as well to be ready without it. So that's something that has been working and is great.
That's a great idea.
Sorry?
That's a great idea.
It's a bit annoying, I have to say, but it's annoying at the beginning. But then I got used to it, so I'm living with it now. And then in terms of morning, I wake up usually before 8. So 7, 8, some days 9 o'clock when it's Sunday usually, but hey, it's fine, I would say. we
Do
can
we
be a
know what
bit.
day it is at the moment? Those of us in lockdown, do we know what day it is?
Yes. I have on my phone, on my watch here. I know the day, yeah. And I have a light as well. So when I'm sleeping, I can check what day is it. So yeah, as well, that's something that is actually fun, but may as well as structure the days, what I need to do. Like Tuesday is my laundry day. Monday is my shopping for grocery for the week. Wednesday, I'm doing something else. Friday or Saturday, I take, let's say, a few hours off for what I'm doing. And Monday is my volunteering day once, twice a month. So I know that I'm structuring this because I want to have my balance as well. So I don't want to live every day. I'm like, what day is it? Maybe that happened when I was too much focused on something. But in terms of the morning, simple, I would say similar to yours. Drinking water, read a book or listen to something, to a podcast or to some music. Some days I listen to music that relax me, like something yoga, meditation, anything to relax my brain. Some days instead, when I feel like energized already, I need to put some music that I love, like salsa, reggaeton, and other music that I really love. Some Italian music, anything. So depending on the day as well. Then some warm up for the body, about 10 minutes, and then breakfast. Now I became vegetarian as well, so
Oh,
I
well done.
need
It's
to I
great.
need I need to figure out as well. I put a menu, I would say, that I'm testing, and so far it's going well. I surpassed the 21 days. So it can be a habit now. It can slowly become a habit after the 21 days. So yeah, the vegetarian is something that for the last 2 years I started to reduce a bit of everything, but now I'm still studying. I'm still testing. I want to
Good,
see.
good to hear. Well done.
So I need to, yeah, that. And then during the day, I mean, yeah, I divided morning, evening, morning, afternoon, evening, I would say. But now that we're locked down, let's say we're at home. I try as well to cut about half an hour to go out to take some fresh air. Maybe
Being
15
in
minutes,
nature
15
is so
minutes or
important.
something. I'll try to do it, as the brain needs some switch off, like a phone, and as well needs to take some fresh air, because always being in the house, it's fine. You are with your loved one. If you're with the family, yes, I'm alone. But as well, I want to take some fresh air. I need to really get on point. So yeah, this is what we like to share about our days. Now there's the special moment when you mentioned that you mentioned about you've been abroad in Italy and in Germany. Let's talk a bit Italian. If you what we want to share in Italian, want
Allora.
to have some conversation. Don't swear, please. Be nice. Vai,
Quindi, sai, ho lasciato Sicilia in 2012, quindi questo è adesso 8 anni fa, quindi ho dimenticato quasi tutto, quindi scusami.
Però vedo che comunque quando ci vediamo ogni volta il tuo livello va sempre a migliorare, pian piano
Eh,
recuperi,
eh, eh.
pian piano metti un po' di, come si.
Riesco a parlare sempre con questi due mani, quindi sono sempre fluente.
Esatto, con le mani si può parlare molto di più, esatto. E dimmi una cosa, in Sicilia in che parte sei stato? Qual è la città, la provincia?
Allora, grazie, buona domanda. Ho vissuto alla posta più bella Sicilia, molto più sud. Si chiama Marina di Ragusa,
Ah,
la
Ragusa,
provincia
ok.
di Ragusa,
Mm.
dove vivono tutti i capi della mafia.
Non tutti, sono sparsi.
Tutti, tutti. Loro lavorano più nord, a Palermo per esempio, ma vivono tutti loro a Ragusa, Marina di Ragusa.
Per quanto ne so, sono divisi. Sono divisi per zone, come anche in Italia comunque.
Ma devo dire, è stato il posto più sicuro che ho mai visto, perché nessuno vuole fare qualcosa sbagliato. Nessuno.
Sì, non bisogna fare errori, altrimenti ci
Sì,
sono dei
certo.
rischi. E cosa ti manca di più di Ragusa, di Marina di Ragusa? Le persone, il cibo, cosa ti manca di più?
Di nuovo, grazie, buona domanda. Il sole.
Eh.
Il sole. La temperatura. La gente ovviamente sono sempre calma, sempre con calma. Loro bevono non troppo, non come qui in Gran Bretagna, solo acqua oppure Coca-Cola, quindi sempre molto più calma in rispetto ai tedeschi oppure noi qui in Gran Bretagna. Secondo me.
E vabbè, un po' di vino l'avrebbe bevuto, no? Vino, birra, qualche alcolico, così.
Forse di sì.
Ci piace fare sempre questa cosa tra noi, tra me e Gary, perché a volte lo spiego un attimo, a volte con le nostre chiamate di formazione siamo anche in collaborazione con la squadra, diciamo, con il team italiano. E mentre traduco, a volte traduco io, a volte traduce qualcun altro dall'inglese all'italiano, c'è questo momento, tutte le vocali, quindi ci piace un attimo, ci piace un attimo divertirci sotto questo aspetto.
Allora.
Stavo
Back to
dicendo, sì,
English.
quindi vino ed altre bevande, ti ricordi qualche piatto, qualcosa che ti piaceva di più? Qualche cibo che ti piaceva di più di quando sei stato lì?
Qualche cibo. Allora, quindi ho vissuto a Marina di Ragusa, direttamente alla mare. Alla mare? Sul mare.
Al mare.
Al
Oh,
mare, certo.
sul mare, sì.
Quindi pesce. Pesce. Per me è sempre pesce. Oppure pizza.
Mm.
Pizzas in Sicilia sono diversi, sicuramente. Non ho, non ho provato mai una pizza come ho mangiato a Sicilia.
Mm.
Sono bellissimi, bellissimi.
E
Ho imparato come faccio una pizza.
hai imparato, sai come farla?
I learned how do you make a pizza.
How do you make the pizza? Yes, the Italian one, yes.
Yeah.
Eh,
Yeah, I would say
ricordi,
Sicilian pizzas, yeah.
ti ricordi gli arancini o arancine, le palle di
Volevo,
riso?
volevo dire questi, ma
Eh,
per me sono, e dentro sono riso, eh?
riso, sì, esatto,
Riso,
sì,
sì.
sì.
Sì. Yeah, molto gustoso, very tasty.
E dovessi tornare in Sicilia, ehm, torneresti a Ragusa? Vabbè, ovviamente torneresti a Ragusa per salutare, magari per vedere i posti, ma torneresti solamente per vacanza oppure torneresti anche per un periodo un po' più lungo, magari anche di lavoro? Ci hai mai pensato a questo?
Buona domanda di nuovo. Ho imparato recentemente, non dici mai, never say never.
Never say never, esatto. Mai dire mai.
Quindi, sì, quindi non so. È così che vorrei ritornare a Sicilia per il lavoro? Forse di
Mhm.
no. Ho fatto questo, ma come si dice, come vuol dire lavoro? Forse di sì, perché con il nostro business che facciamo adesso
Mhm.
dentro l'industria di network marketing, ovviamente riesco e voglio ritornare all'Italia per parlare con miei amici lì. Che cosa faccio adesso? Non solo il maestro di golf, faccio qualcosa di totalmente diverso e con questo riesco a aiutarti.
Esatto, esatto, sì, è un qualcosa che bisogna anche condividere, ovviamente, parlarne con le persone e allo stesso tempo anche iniziare a trovare delle persone che sono appunto interessate, che vogliono approfondire e fare anche qualche evento lì, magari fare qualche bella presentazione, perché io personalmente ho tanti amici sparsi in tutte le parti della Sicilia, ma non ci sono mai stato, mai.
Dobbiamo ritornare
E
insieme.
quindi ci torniamo insieme sicuramente. Andremo a Ragusa, poi devo andare a Palermo perché ho 5 persone che conosco di Palermo e non ho mai avuto modo di visitare Palermo, quindi, ma ci voglio andare per diversi motivi, anche per motivi storici e culturali, quindi non solamente per mangiare e per divertirmi, per diverse ragioni. Quindi bello, bello. Sono contento che abbiamo avuto modo di anche fare questo cambio linguistico. E questo adesso non te lo aspetterai? Sprechen Deutsch?
Ich
Okay,
Ich
now,
spreche
now
Deutsch,
going to
bin
English.
ganz fließend ich bin ganz fließend auf Deutsch. Ja,
Okay.
ich hab in Deutschland gewohnt für 8 Jahren und einer der Hauptgründe, dass ich nach Sizilien hingezogen bin, ist, weil die wollten einen British Golflehrer, die Deutsch gesprochen hat. Quindi, that was me.
Ok, lo parli bene, sì. Io conosco solamente qualche parola in tedesco, quindi Sprechen Deutsch, vabbè, ne conosco altre, sì. Kartoffeln,
Kartoffeln, potatoes, very
potato,
good.
right?
Hey?
Kartoffeln is potato, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I know different. Now it's not coming to my mind, but yeah, it's good to do. This exchange as well. So people are like, what's happening here? So we make it as well. We make it more real, more fun. We can share as well our experiences.
Absolutely.
That was fun. That was fun hearing you talk in German. I heard you some time talking in German, but here is oh wow. I feel like oh no, I don't know what to say now. I'm like oh.
It's quite funny, that I went out to Germany when I was 24. So I'm 52 now. So I've spoken German for 28 years of my life. It's over half my life. And I lived on 2 separate occasions in Germany. First time for 5 years, second time for 3 years. And also in my 3 years in Sicily, most of the time, I was trying to learn and speak Italian, but a lot of the time I was also speaking German, because that was one of the main reasons I was taken to Sicily, is because they wanted a British PGA golf pro who spoke German, and that was me.
Wow. That's something that your role, I would say, your role is you can't really find it easily. You really need to go and find the right person, because it's not something that most people they like to watch. I would say, maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but to be there and teach me, because we had the chance as well on my birthday, and I thank you again. We had the chance to do some really basic, and I was like, oh man, if this is the basic, learning everything about your posture and taking the ball and everything. I'm like, okay, I get it now, because it's the professional in you, as is really you need to be really focused on that. So
I think that's the key thing, is to be able to focus on it, have an intention what you want to learn, and really focus on it, blank everything else out, focus on what you need to do, and concentrate on that. And then when that time has passed, leave it and then focus on the next thing.
Yeah. That's the main goal. Yeah. So we're getting close to the end. I don't know if you would like to ask something, if you have anything else that you would like to ask.
Sure. Well, firstly, again, thank you very much for having me on. I was a little bit apprehensive and a little bit unsure as to how this was going to go, but I've enjoyed it, and I hope you have too. So yeah, let me have a little think of a worthwhile question to ask you.
Mhm.
I think we've covered quite a few things that I had written down here that I was maybe going to speak with you about.
Oh
But
wow,
if we
you've
just
written down. Okay, you write down.
kind of enlighten, if we just kind of enlighten it, and just do something more general. We're obviously in a home-based business, which has multiple streams of revenue attached to it,
Mhm.
which is great. And one of the streams of revenue that we have is very fortunate, is one of the ones that we opened up with, which was our iGo platform, which was helping people to save money on their travel, not just abroad by flying to Italy or flying from Italy to the UK, but also saving money on travel within their own country. So if they're
Yeah.
actually living in Italy, they could save money on this destination or this hotel in Italy, or the same here in the UK.
Mhm.
Last year, I traveled 4 times within the UK and stayed in hotels and saved money each time.
Yes.
So when people speak to me about my side hustle and they say, oh, it must be tough for you, there's no traveling. I'm saying, well, not really. People still travel within their own country. And
Yeah.
so I guess my question for you would be, what would be, having coming from Puglia, which is a beautiful region, and you've seen some wonderful places within the UK, not yet the most beautiful, which is Wales, but what would be your dream destination? Should the green light be given, let's say, let's be realistic here, should the green light be given to travel maybe June or July,
Mhm.
what would be a dream destination for you to jump on that aeroplane, book on that iGo platform, and off you go? Where would you like to go?
There's an awesome question, and actually you read my mind. You really read my mind, because that's something that I want usually like to cover about towards the end of about travel, where we like to go. So I'll be honest, my dream destination place is Cuba in the Caribbean. Is Cuba, is over there for the music, for dancing, for the food, for the nature, and
For the ladies as well, maybe?
for the ladies, for everything. I mean, but as well because I want to, the Cuban cigar.
I've heard about it. I've never
Yeah,
smoked, but I know what you
yeah.
mean.
So yeah, the cigar and the cane sugar. So they're really famous there. The adult smoke, but I like to see how they're made. So I like to be one of the few that actually see how it's made, and I like to get the connection in to be there, because I love salsa to dance, and as well I love good food, have party, and as well the nature. So that's my dream destination. But going into the iGo platform, going into booking, let's say in summer, because I told my parents as well, look, I'm coming home, but if there are still all of this restriction and everything, I'm going to Madrid, I'm going to Spain. So that's what I'm going to book straight away. My friend, most of my friends knows. I mean, if I can go this year, I'll go. That's one of the first place I would go. Again, for the music, for the food, for the culture, and for the language, because I speak Spanish, but I need to keep practicing to improve. And it's the capital, because I've been to Barcelona. A few years ago, but I never been to the capital of Madrid. So it's something that I like to start doing as well, is to visit most capitals of the European places, the European countries. And the second one I would say is Dubai. Dubai in the
Oh,
Emirates
right. Yes.
is there, because actually I planned to go there last year, because the Expo, the international event, it was meant to be there, but something happened last year, so we couldn't really, move much. But as well to meet some friends that I got there in the Emirates, in Dubai, and to visit the desert, to visit there and travel around. Yeah, those are the two places that I would book straight away. And how about you?
Well, thanks for the question. And those are two really amazing destinations you've talked about there. I've been fortunate enough to be in Barcelona,
Hmm.
and For me, I've been very fortunate that I've traveled many places with my work. So rather than, one of the places I'd like to return to, you asked me if I'd love to return to Sicily, and yes, of course. One of the places I'd love to return to would be Africa. Africa has been my favorite continent since 25 years, since I first set foot there. But where I haven't been yet is I haven't been to Asia. And where I would love to go is India. And not just for the food, but also for the spiritual experience as well. So India would be something really high on my wish list. And you also mentioned the second one. I've got some friends who are living and working out in Dubai, and Dubai is growing as a country, if you like. Yeah, let's call it a country now, and it's amazing. Some people maybe not call it real. It's not reality, but it would be good sometimes just to drop the whole thing that we perceive as being reality and just take a flyer and just visit something very, very different. So those would be my two places on my top of my wish list for when the restrictions ease up. It would be India and Dubai.
And what about in the UK? What about here in the UK? Do you have any places that you haven't visited yet, or maybe you're wondering to go?
Yeah, great. I mean, do you know what? There's so many places in Wales that I haven't really visited properly yet. And so whilst I spent some time up in North Wales last summer with my son, he was competing in a Welsh junior event up in the northern part of Wales, and driving up through up the west coast of Wales, getting up to North Wales, it reminded me, I've traveled left, right, and center on this planet, but I have not hardly explored the mid and north part of Wales. So I think that's definitely something which may well be on the agenda for this year. If we're going to have another staycation where we're going to be staying within the British Isles. And also where I would love to go would be the northern part of Scotland. Yeah, northern part.
Visit the islands, to visit the Scottish Islands.
Yeah, one of my I love my music, and it's I have moved on a little bit with listening to modern day music, but still in my gut, in every cell of my being is music from the 80s. And there's a few bands that I loved growing up as a teenager from the 80s, and one of them is a Scottish band called the Waterboys. Everyone thinks them being an Irish band, but they're a Scottish band. And there are some sacred places where the lead singer of the Waterboys always sings about in his songs, and I would love to go and visit them. Yeah.
Okay, good. Love that. The Scottish Islands are in my list since 3 years, since when I came back. Reason why is for the peace, the nature that is there, but mainly
Iona would be a good one then to go to. There's one song actually he sings. It's called "The Peace of Iona." So
Iona is an island.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's spelled I-O-N-A. Iona.
Okay, Iona. Okay, it's an island. Yeah. But then, for the peace, for the nature. But then again, I mentioned Cuba about the cigars. I know Scotland is famous for the whiskey, for the Scotch, right? So I need to be careful how I word it, because if any Scottish is watching, hey, you don't say this in, you need to. So they're famous for the whiskey, for the Scotch. I mean, for the liquors. That's how you call it, right? The spirits, anyway.
They're famous for three things. One is golf. Second is whiskey. And third is not understanding a single word what they're talking about.
Yeah, I can agree on the last one. Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough accent. It's really, really tough. Yeah. I've been to Glasgow and to, my lord, Glasgow. Ooh, never again. And then
one of my best friends, he's probably my top three best friends. He is still the head greenkeeper at Selsey Golf Club, and he is from Glasgow, and his football team is Rangers. So he may be watching this on Facebook. I don't know. So be careful what you say.
Yeah, I said, I mean, I've been to Glasgow, I've been to the tenants experience where when they make the beer. It was good, but it wasn't really my city. Then I went a bit further up. I've been to Edinburgh twice. I really love it. I feel more at home in Edinburgh. I don't know why. I think the city is more relaxed, is more
Great
human
city.
touch. I mean, it's more. I mean, London is big, so I can't really make. But there, being there twice, I was like, you know what? I might even consider. I don't know. Never say never.
Edinburgh,
Maybe to move
Edinburgh
on.
is beautiful. Edinburgh is beautiful. I actually had my stag party back in the day before I grew up and I decided to get married. I had my stag party to Edinburgh, and about 15 of us went from Swansea to Edinburgh
Oh wow,
for a long
driving.
weekend. No, we flew. We flew from Bristol. We drove. We had a
Okay.
bus to Bristol, and we flew from Bristol to Edinburgh. I think it was Bristol, maybe in Cardiff. And we had a long weekend there, Thursday through to Monday. Fortunately, there was golf involved most days to try and keep
Hmm.
us out of the bar.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, from me for the UK would be the Scottish Islands, and as well, you're gonna laugh now, but I really want to visit Cheddar.
Okay.
It's a
Yeah,
town near Bristol
yeah,
where they make the cheese.
geez, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Do
yeah,
you know
that's
what?
what
Caught me out here. I
that. So
don't really know where that is, but my kind of subconscious tells me it's in the middle northern part of England.
it's
Maybe I
near
don't.
Bristol. Near
Bristol,
Bristol.
yeah. See, I wasn't aware. I wasn't aware. Mm.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? Why not? I like cheese, even though I'm vegetarian. I'm still eating some dairy, some eggs. But you know what? Why not? I mean, it could be fun. And then Canterbury, I want to visit.
Beautiful, yeah.
Canterbury in the southeast, I think is.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah, you need to
southeast.
go there for sure. Yeah.
And Winchester and York. I have a friend living in York now, in the up in the north. How do you say up in the north? I mean, I'm not really good at accent, honestly.
Did you know, were you
Yeah.
aware, because I wasn't aware until about 5 years ago when I was living down in Chichester, that Winchester was the original capital of England before
Yes.
London?
Yes.
Mm.
Yes. Yeah. I heard that. Yeah. I heard that. Yeah. And I was like, how come? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Winchester was the very first capital of England. And not a
Yeah.
lot of people know that.
Yeah. And now I'll tell you something that I think will make you smile a bit and will make you laugh. You know, the first time I came here in the UK in 2011, I was in Bournemouth, but then I went to Stonehenge and Salisbury. Salisbury
Salisbury.
is a city, right?
Salisbury.
Then when I was in Salisbury, I saw this orange place, and I was like Sainsbury. I'm like, what's this? I mean, it's a supermarket for those who don't know what Sainsbury is in the UK. I was like, so wait, there is a Salisbury. People don't get
Oh,
confused here.
yeah, I get it.
No, I mean, I was like, what's this? You know, but now, I mean,
That's a good
it's
point.
like every day for me. But at the beginning, I was like, but then when I was in Bournemouth again, I was like, there isn't a Sainsbury here. So what's the story here? And then I got to understand that, in the UK,
Oh,
those
wow.
places are like franchise. So franchise,
Yeah,
okay.
only when you live abroad and especially in your early stages of living abroad can you have those experiences when you're not really tuned in and you don't really understand the culture or don't understand the language. I've got plenty of those stories from my Italian experiences and from my German experiences. They're funny. Yeah, they're funny.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think they're only funny if you actually experience them, but I do know what you mean. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just thinking about me, what's this? And then it's people that are going to live in their life. Yeah, I mean, it's okay, I guess. Yeah. Okay, cool. So we've been about how long we've been? I think we've been a good hour here.
Yeah, it's blown by. Thank you. Yeah.
I think yeah, we've been an hour or so. Yeah, an hour and 5 minutes. Look at us. An
Wow.
hour and 5 minutes. It's been fun. It's been good. I learned something from you, and
Thank you. And I learned something for you too.
we have shared some good values, something positive. And before we go, I'd like to ask you something. Um, you're a professional golfer, teacher. I mean, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. So in terms of from this, because I'm not sure about the word, but I know it's professional golf. So in terms of this, from what are you taking from golfing to your online business now? I mean, to the industry that you're in. What can you relate to golf, and how you can take advantage from it?
Wow, beautiful question.
I know that's a tough one.
Yeah, well, listen, I think it is a tough one, but I think I can simplify it by saying that, you know, I think my biggest illusion I've learned, the biggest illusion I've had is the idea that we are separate from each other. And what I have learned is that we are not separate from each other at all. We're all connected. And if we're all connected at the base level, then everything that we do is all also connected. So all my experiences and skills that I've maybe learned throughout my time as a golf professional, whatever I want to do at the side of that, those skills are transferable, because whatever we do, we're always dealing with people.
Yes.
We're always dealing with people. Yeah. We get on in life and we earn more of this money, which is an energy exchange from dealing with people, helping people. Yeah. So whilst I may well have helped some people with golf down the line, for me, I still will do it. For me, that's a very linear structure as far as earning money is concerned. So every time I'm helping someone with golf, it's generally a one-to-one, and I'm exchanging my time for money. When we're looking at the home-based business, all the skills I've learned and being patient and how to speak with people, how to understand what their needs are, what do they want, rather than what do I want to teach you today on the driving range. Today I want to teach you the driver, or today I want, no, what do you want to learn would be with the golf.
Yes.
And then in the home-based industries, how can I help you? How can I service you, Mario? What do you want? What do you feel is maybe missing from your life? And once I know that, then I can attach that emotional part that's maybe missing, let's use the word missing, to help you push yourself to achieving whatever goals that you've got. So I think that's an interchangeable skill that I've learned. And aside of that, you know, when we come into whatever profession we've got, if we've got our qualifications, we think, woohoo, we've done it. That's just the starting point. And I think as I've learned from a playing perspective, playing golf and also coaching it, it's all about repetition, repeating things which are proven to be successful. There's no problem in asking the question, why is this successful? Because we always have to question. But if it's proven, if it's got a proven track record of being successful, follow it and repeat it. You know, learn from the people who've made it successful and follow in their footsteps. I think the phrase that's used quite a lot is success leaves clues. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. And repetition is the mother of good skill, right? Sorry, repetition is the mother of all skills. So as well,
Absolutely.
that's something that you can take from
Whether
your
it's with
profession.
golf or whether it's learning a language, be it you learning English, it's about repetition. Me learning Italian, it was repetition. Me learning a certain shot at golf, it was all about repeating the brain to the body, repetition, repetition, repetition. So then when you're faced with that shot again under a tournament pressure, you've done it, you know you've done it, you can rely upon it, and you go through the motions, go through the intentions, and boom, hit the shot, and hopefully it'll give you the desired result. So when you take that into another arena of business, in the home-based business, it's the same thing.
Yes. Yeah.
Same structure.
That structure. Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah. Yeah.
Great question.
That's good. That's good. Good value. Yeah, is sometimes we just think about um sometimes we just think, okay, golf, football, volleyball, tennis, whatever sport is there for entertainment. That's what most people maybe they think of, they use it, and that's fine. I would say in a way, myself as well. But once you actually you are in a path of life when you have that change or you're looking for something else, you're looking for something more, you're like, okay, if these people they are making it, like in football, let's say Ronaldo and Messi, right? Those two. I love Messi. I like Ronaldo. I like both. I love Messi. I don't know about you, if you even know who they are.
Yeah, well, we have a pretty good player here who's from Wales called Gareth Bale, who's playing out.
Yes. Yeah.
He was playing out in Real Madrid for a while,
Yeah.
but yeah, for me, of those two, to actually watch them play, for me, it would definitely be Messi. But you can't deny what Ronaldo has done. He's been phenomenal.
No. That's why I said. I mean, I love Messi because it's more flexible somehow. But as well, I like Ronaldo obviously. But I'm just comparing them because that's the two that I can say. How they actually train, how they actually what they do during the day, how they work with the football team, with the coach, how they get how long did it take to get there. So you can use as well this in life for you say, okay, if I want to do something, maybe I can study someone, I can relate to someone, I can get there. And as you mentioned, with we always deal with people, and then you learn to be patient, to asking the right question as well, to find out what's there, what's the element, and then use it, share it. I mean, and then it's up to the person, I would say, if we want to take it or not. At the end,
Absolutely.
what I always say to people, I'm here to share a message to you. Then, you know, that's your decision.
Just get a decision. Just get a decision. Yeah.
Yeah,
Get them
that's
to
the
make a
decision.
decision.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but that's really great. I love how you went deep into the details. And with this, I want to wrap up. Unless you have anything else that you would like to add, you'd like
I
to
would
add.
just like to say thank you very much indeed for inviting me onto this call, and it's been an honor and a pleasure to share time together. And hopefully, as we said right at the start, if something that we may have touched upon today has maybe helped somebody stop and think, or maybe even help them with something they were dealing with themselves, then it's been worthwhile.
Yes. I'm sure we will impact more than one person maybe watching it. Yeah. And I want to say thank you to all the people who left a comment as well. I see that someone was watching, and someone from Wales as well. Someone said Friday night is pizza night in my house in Wales. I don't know if it's the same menu for you
Who
guys.
is that? Who is that?
I see Claire Thomas.
Oh, right. Okay. Yes, I
Yeah.
know Claire. Yeah. Hello,
So
Claire. If you're still on. As
so
you
I
may
see
know,
that
I've
we have some.
started my new keto nutrition diet today, so no pizza today.
You're on the keto diet.
I started a new keto nutritional lifestyle today, so
Okay.
no carbs for me now for a little while. Yeah.
Okay. You still need it some. Remember, you need a little bit of everything. Like everything in life, you need a little bit of everything. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you know what to do.
Well, I'm going to follow the instructions of the nutritionist that I've taken on board to help with my health, my bodily health, and also my mental health. Because even though I'm a coach, coaches still need to be coached. Eh? It's
Yes.
like the question: who coaches the coach? So, and it doesn't matter what level you're at, what experience you've got. If you're not fueling your brain correctly, it doesn't matter. You'll never get to where you could get. So fueling the brain is so important.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. Especially with food, what we put inside and what we read and listen. Like the news nowadays, I read them. Just I read them. Bye.
Yeah,
I know
well,
what's happening. That's it. I
stay
don't need to
away
go
from
into
it.
the drama.
Stay
I don't
away
need.
from it. It's poisonous.
Yeah,
Stay away
I don't.
from it. It's poisonous.
Yeah, I don't need to go into the drama and everything. I just know the title. Fine, that's it. I'm living my life. You're living your life, so we're good. But yeah, again, grazie mille. grazie mille per aver partecipato, è stato un piacere. And we forgot Welsh.
Grazie mille.
We forgot Welsh. I don't know. We won't say maybe thank you or something in Welsh. That we forgot that. Guys, wait a second. Okay, wait a second. Sorry for interrupt. Okay, Mr. Hughes and I, we got the chance to spend my birthday together last year. And I was surprised when we went out to eat something and then we eat and drink something. And he actually sang
I serenaded you.
Happy Birthday in Welsh to me, and I recorded it. So I have a video of him singing Happy Birthday in Welsh, and I'm like, oh wow, I never experienced that, and it was so good. It's on my phone, and I think I sent you the video to you. So yeah, I want to say thank you for that again. But yeah, I don't know if you want just to share something quickly in Welsh, that would be nice.
Diolch yn fawr iawn, pawb. I don't really know what I'm going to say that people on the call will understand. Apart from this, mae'n hen wlad fy nhadau yn annoel I mi gwlad baedd y chontorion enwogion o fri. Mae'n gwrw refelwydd gwlad balwydd tramad dros ryddid i'r hen iaith a'i gwaed.
Okay, translated is?
It's the first verse of the Welsh national anthem, and it basically means the old land of my fathers is very dear to me. And yeah, it's probably the most emotional national anthem of them all. And that's not just coming from me as a hardened Welsh person, but if you listen to a lot of, certainly within the UK, even the Scots, the English and the Irish, they will all say that Welsh anthem, that's something else.
That's something extra. Yeah. Okay. You see, I'm learning all the time. I mean, that's why language and get to know someone else, in your life, it can always bring something that can give value to you. So I hope everyone has enjoyed this. If you're watching the replay, leave a comment, replay, and then if you have any questions for us, if you want to leave any of your experiences or anything fun, anything that maybe you've been in some places, you want to share anything in your comments or privately, you can reach out to us. We will be more than happy to have a chat about it. So again, I want really to thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. I know that you have a busy schedule with family, business, and life duty as well. So I appreciate it that you've been here. And who knows, maybe we're going to do another one in the future. Maybe we're going to be in a different place, not at home. We'll be somewhere else. So we'll see.
These restrictions are lifted, and the mood of the whole nation and the world is lifted very shortly, and we can all get back to doing what we love to do.
Yes.
So thank you again. Ti ringrazio tante per invitarmi.
È stato un piacere.
Allora, ti auguro una buona serata.
Buona serata anche a te, grazie mille, grazie.